Mask or no mask? I get this question from a lot of you planning your first trip to New Braunfels ever, and hey, it's a legitimate question considering what's going on in the world. So today we're going to answer the question, hey, should you leave your mask at home when coming to visit New Braunfels, or should you bring it with you 1 year after the pandemic started? If you asked me this question last year, I'd say, yeah, definitely bring your mask to New Braunfels. That's because we were in a very different time last year. The unknown had the state of Texas and New Braunfels erring on the side of caution. So we had shutdowns here. I remember a 2 or 3 week stretch when it was eerily quiet here. No restaurants, no retail. Heck, the bridges and rivers were closed to discourage crowds. And that's a big deal here in New Braunfels, where we draw around 2 million visitors every year, which pumps in about $700 million to the local economy. But we were a ghost town, and soon masks were required at restaurants and at parks. Then around mid-May, some restrictions were lifted. Restaurants, parks started to reopen, and so did some specialty businesses. Thank God, because I was looking pretty ratty after 6 months without a haircut. Masks still required though, but well worth it in this case. There were kids and families enjoying themselves at Landa Park without masks, just chilling like it was any other year. Then on Memorial Day weekend, over 4,000 wristbands were issued to tubers. No masks, all basically in one river, the Comel, and no masks. But that eventually caught up with us when the city shut down river parks for the 4th of July weekend. Businesses carried on because they shifted the way they do business. A lot of it was curbside, whether you picked up food or electronics from Best Buy or Target, and in-store masks were required. And people complied for the most part. Hey, they may not like wearing a mask, but hey, everybody has to eat or buy things from the store, so they just masked up. It's kind of like me eating oatmeal every morning. It's not a chocolate sundae, but I do it to keep my cholesterol low, so I just gotta do what I gotta do. Fast forward to last month, March 2021, when our governor, Greg Abbott, lifted the mask mandate and opened the state to 100% capacity. And here's what 100% capacity looks like today in New Braunfels. This is just last weekend, a few days ago on Easter weekend. This was on Good Friday in downtown New Braunfels around 6 o'clock. People out and about enjoying themselves, having a drink, eating some dinner, walking around, people out shopping. Most are not wearing a mask, but a few are. Businesses still either strongly encourage it or require it. So you'll see employees wearing masks for the most part, whether they're inside or outside. At the same time, I've noticed a lot of our businesses, large and small, have taken down their mask requirement, mask encourage signs in the past few weeks since the governor lifted the mask mandate. Which leaves it up to you then if you want to wear a mask inside that business. Same type enjoyment at our parks, that same late afternoon, evening on a Good Friday. Majority of people not wearing masks, and it's been like this at Landa Park for quite some time. You guys see me out here hosting videos at Landa Park, and I'm out here on the weekends sometimes, and when there are hundreds of people out here, they're enjoying themselves and their families, they're walking around, they're biking, they're swimming, they're at the playground with their kids, they're golfing, they're on the train, whatever it may be. I would say 8 out of every 9, 10 people are not wearing a mask, but some are, especially if they're on the hiking trail. And that number sticks at other parks too. This one is right by the Comel River, and this is from Good Friday too. Kids enjoying themselves, playing basketball without masks. Hey, here's a good litmus test. Our historic district of Green on a Good Friday. It's packed, look at this. Residents, tourists. This is what 100% back to business looks like in New Braunfels. People taking in the sights and the sounds. Again, 8 or 9 out of every 10 people without masks. Again though, if you're going to dance or going to eat, businesses ask that you wear a mask, and when you get to your table, just take it off. Again, all this video is from the last few days, but it's what I'm seeing now every day. And this is a welcome sight. I mean, when was the last time we saw a theater open like this? This is what 100% capacity looks like. It's 100% capacity on a Friday night here at Creekside Cinema in New Braunfels. You have to wear masks to get in, but heck, people don't care. They do that. They come out after enjoying a movie and they're happy. We visited the farmer's market on Saturday, the day before Easter, and a little bit tighter quarters here, so I'd say it was about 50-50 with masks and no masks. But it's not stopping people or vendors from showing up, from coming out and walking around the shop, or even to listen to some music. The housing market, people still showing up at open houses too. In fact, open houses have become more commonplace the last few months. Most of the time a mask is required if you're going inside to look at a house, but they're not going to stop you at the same time unless the owner requires it. Remember last Easter? Empty parking lots, empty churches? Not the case in New Braunfels this year. You're looking at one of our oldest churches here, and it was packed on Easter Sunday. In fact, here's one of the overflow lots. So people out for Sunday service, but I did see worshipers coming out of church wearing masks. So while we're back at 100%, businesses and banks and churches are still erring on the side of caution with masks. So if you're coming to New Braunfels and you plan on going out to eat or you plan on shopping, just bring a mask, and in the places you're required to wear one, and when you're outside or away from that requirement, just take it off. Now, if you're coming to New Braunfels and still have time to tour Austin and San Antonio, that's fantastic, and you want to know, hey, should I bring a mask there too? Well, here's what it's like in those two cities. First, with my colleague in Austin, Jeremy Knight, and then my colleague in San Antonio, Tim Macy.
What's up, Brad? Sorry, can't do it. Here we go. Jeremy Knight in Austin. Hey, look, Rad, masks, they've been a thing in Austin. Even past the mandate, the mayor in Austin says you gotta wear your masks. They're still trying to find people for it. But if you go right outside the city, nobody's really wearing masks. We're all being respectful and walking into businesses with masks because that's what we do in Texas, is we're respectful of other people. But for the most part, if you didn't know there was a pandemic going on in Texas, other than wearing masks, you probably wouldn't know. Because again, this is the great state of Texas. Even though it's Austin, we might got our crazy things going on, but we're still Texans at heart.
It's Tim Macy down here in San Antonio, and it is a beautiful day. And look, you know, I think here you got in the city, a lot of restaurants are asking people to wear masks. Most of the stores, Target, everything else saying, hey, wear a mask. As you leave the city, it gets a lot different. It's like masks aren't a thing at all. But overall, the biggest thing is that I think, you know, in true Texas spirit, there's options for everyone. If you want to look for a restaurant that aren't, you know, requiring masks, you're going to be able to find one. If you feel safe being in a place where everyone's wearing a mask, you're going to be able to find that too. You're going to be able to find pretty much whatever you feel comfortable with. My mom's actually in town from Connecticut, and it is a breath of fresh air for her, the fact that everybody is out living their lives, out doing things, but still being Texas respectful.
Thanks, Tim. Thanks, Jeremy. So there you have it. New Braunfels, Austin, and San Antonio. Now you know when and where to wear a mask and when not to wear a mask. What do you guys think? What do you think? What's your experience been when you're in New Braunfels and you've had to either wear a mask or not wear a mask? Let me know in the comments section below so we can all kind of share in our experiences. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and we'll see you on the next one.